professional grade. GMC.
ABC7 wishes you a happy and safe 4th of July.
Tonight, breaking news. 4th of July fears as America marks the holiday in the middle of a pandemic. COVID cases shattering records. More than 11,000 in Florida just today. Miami beaches closed this weekend. Texas with more than 8,200 cases. A new high. Hospitals in the Rio Grande Valley diverting patients. Popular beaches in California off limits, but cautious crowds are at beaches in New Jersey where masks are mandatory. And partygoers are back crowding pool bars at Missouri's Lake of the Ozarks. Trump's risky celebrations. The president hosting a salute to America in the Capitol despite warnings from the D.C. mayor that it's safer to stay home. It comes after flyovers and fireworks, but no social distancing at Mount Rushmore, where a member of the president's inner circle, Kimberly Guilfoyle, Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend, tested positive. The new lockdown, Spain confining some 200,000 people to their region where COVID cases are surging. And the UK reopening pubs for the first time, but threatening to shut them down again if cases rise. Terrifying car ramming. The disturbing moment a vehicle slams into protesters on a closed stretch of highway. 2 people hospitalized, both in critical condition. The driver is in custody, his motive unclear. Growing demand for justice for Elijah McClain after the release of selfies appearing to show police officers reenacting the neck hold used on McClain, who later died. And deadly shark attack. Paramedics arriving by helicopter and a desperate attempt to save a scuba diver at nearly the same scene of another deadly attack just 3 months ago.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
Good evening. It's great to have you with us on this 4th of July Saturday. I'm Whit Johnson, in for Tom Yamas tonight. And we begin with this American holiday celebrated in the shadow of the coronavirus pandemic and more people testing positive than ever before. Records shattered in recent days. The curve is not flattening. More than 2,786,000 confirmed cases in this country. And tonight, Florida reporting more than 11,000 cases in the past 24 hours. All beaches are closed in 3 South Florida counties, including Miami-Dade this weekend. Texas also reporting a record today, more than 8,000 cases in just a day. Some hospitals now at 100% capacity. Patients are being diverted. Hospitalizations in Arizona also continuing to rise. And after California's early success, an alarming surge there as well, forcing some of the most popular beaches to close during the holiday. But where the coast is open, people are there in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, doing their best to keep social distance. The same is true for the beach at Coney Island here in New York. And ABC's Trevor Ault is there.
Tonight, millions of Americans marking this unprecedented 4th of July as the pandemic ravages parts of the country.
I think it's great. Family, friends, get some fresh air with everything that's going on in our country.
Beaches in New Hampshire and New Jersey, even the lake shores of Indiana, packed with people. On Minnesota's Lake Minnetonka, hundreds crowding together, forming an island of boats. Partygoers filling up pool bars at Missouri's Lake of the Ozarks, the crowd's already worrying health officials.
I know the 4th of July weekend, everybody wants to get together. I'm nervous that it's going to bring more positives as people congregate.
With cases increasing in 39 states, nationwide 80% of fireworks displays are canceled. In Florida, beaches that would usually draw hundreds of thousands now closed across the state.
And we have to follow these rules, but definitely here at the beach, with a young crowd, it's a good idea.
Florida logging 11,458 cases today alone, a new record high, and just 100 cases fewer than New York logged at its apex in April. While out west, most California beaches are closed.
We don't want to see you, a bunch of strangers, without being physically distanced.
And healthcare workers at some testing sites warn they're running out of supplies.
Today, we had to make a decision of who gets tested based on swab availability, which is unfortunate. We want to be able to test everyone that we can.
Today, President Trump railed on rising case totals and what he thinks is causing them, saying if we didn't test so much and so successfully, we would have very few cases. The daily nationwide death toll and the mortality rate have been on the decline, but deaths are rising in 14 states and hospitalizations are up in 27. Among them, Texas, where new cases hit a record high and Rio Grande Valley hospitals at capacity are diverting patients to other parts of the state. One North Texas family with 7 family members infected, including their 88-year-old grandmother, Marie.
Is real. For the people who believe it's a fake news or a joke, it's really not a joke.
Austin's mayor now criticizing the governor for a hasty reopening plan and not ruling out a second shutdown.
Don't want to do it, but it's certainly an arrow in the quiver at this point.
In Arizona, as cases surge, Tucson Dr. Matt Hines warns the state has never seen this level of demand for hospital beds.
We will get to a point where we have to start, looking at those god-awful rules about who not to put into the ICU and such.
And in Oregon, after Governor Kate Brown made masks mandatory, 4 state troopers were caught on video refusing to wear them at a coffee shop. Instead of firing those troopers, the governor sat down with them, saying they took responsibility and that the officers and I agreed today that face coverings save lives.
That's the plea from officials. Trevor Ault joins us now from Coney Island, one of the many New York beaches open this 4th of July. And Trevor, we can see big crowds behind you there. But Trevor, I want to ask you about a nearby cluster of cases in Hoboken, New Jersey that officials say could be linked to travel.
Well, that's right, Whit. Hoboken logged 13 new cases Thursday and Friday. It's a small but unnoticeable jump because health officials say all 13 people recently traveled to areas with rising infection rates like Florida and Texas. Now remember, New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut are all asking travelers who visit any of 16 hard-hit states to quarantine when they return. They're trying to prevent this from happening on a larger scale. Whit.
As people travel, the virus travels too. That's the concern from officials. Trevor, thank you. Meantime, President Trump is celebrating this 4th of July holiday big. First with fireworks and flyovers at Mount Rushmore last night, arranging military flyovers in cities along the East Coast, including this one in Boston. And tonight with a salute to America in Washington, D.C., all of it pushing the virus out of mind. ABC's Rachel Scott is there in the Capitol.
Tonight, with coronavirus cases on the rise, the president pushing forward with back-to-back 4th of July celebrations, kicking off tonight's Salute to America event with remarks at the White House. Spectators filing into the National Mall awaiting fireworks and flyovers.
So obviously, we wore our mask and we brought one with us.
I don't wear a mask. I am not even 1 iota concerned about getting the coronavirus.
Despite warnings from D.C.'s mayor to stay home.
We want to send a message to our residents to enjoy the 4th of July, to celebrate according to our guidance, and to do it at home.
The president just back from Mount Rushmore. He delivered a divisive speech, railing against the toppling of controversial monuments.
Our nation is witnessing a merciless campaign to wipe out our history, defame our heroes, erase our values, and indoctrinate our children.
Protesters gathering at the park gates. During this national reckoning on race, the president warned of a left-wing cultural revolution.
Their goal is not a better America. Their goal is to end America.
About 3,700 people crowded the amphitheater, sitting inches apart. No social distancing, few masks in sight. The president only briefly touched on the virus, which he has said repeatedly might just disappear. Tonight, news it is spreading in his inner circle. Kimberly Guilfoyle, Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend and top campaign fundraising official, testing positive for COVID-19 in South Dakota ahead of the event. In the statement, the campaign's fundraising committee said Guilfoyle, who is asymptomatic, was immediately isolated to limit any exposure, and as a precaution will cancel all upcoming events. Adding Donald Trump Jr. was tested negative, but as a precaution is also self-isolating, noting the couple did not travel on Air Force One or come into contact with the president. 2 weeks ago, Guilfoyle spoke at the president's rally in Tulsa, seen here without a mask.
How we do in Oklahoma?
Several campaign staffers and members of the Secret Service testing positive there too.
And what officials have 300,000 face coverings on hand to pass out to visitors. On a typical Independence Day, this area would normally be packed with people, but residents here in D.C. seem to be taking those warnings from health experts and the mayor of D.C. very seriously. Whit?
Rachel Scott in Washington, our thanks to you tonight. Next overseas, in the new lockdown in Spain, one of Europe's hardest hit countries, now barring some 200,000 people from leaving the Catalonia region as cases there surge. ABC's Ian Pannell is in London, where officials are beginning to lift restrictions.
Tonight, Spain issuing a new lockdown with COVID-19 surging in the north of the country. As many as 200,000 people in Catalonia are now barred from leaving the area, but the restrictions won't be as severe as before. Spain's been one of the worst affected countries in Europe. This as countries across the continent start to ease their lockdowns, allowing more visitors to travel there. But as cases continue to rise in the US, non-essential travel to the EU still banned. 5 American tourists and their friends who tried to breach the ban by flying into Italy on a private jet were turned away by airport authorities. And today, England celebrated its own Independence Day of sorts as pubs reopened for the first time since lockdown began.
It's lovely to have a nice pint.
Case numbers have fallen in the UK, but in a warning of the dangers of easing restrictions like this, the city of Leicester has also reimposed a lockdown after a new outbreak there.
Although pubs will enforce social distancing, Prime Minister Boris Johnson's warning that if the numbers rise, he won't hesitate to put the brakes on and reimpose restrictions. Whit?
Ian Pannell in London, thank you. To Seattle now, where a driver is under arrest after slamming into protesters on a closed stretch of highway, seriously injuring 2 women. ABC's Zareen Shah with the details and the surveillance video. A warning, it is difficult to watch.
It's a horrifying moment. The white car plowing into protesters on a Seattle freeway.
A car ran over some people on the freeway, possibly.
The Jaguar striking 2 women, now both in critical condition in an ICU. Moments earlier, a protester live streaming this video before running for cover.
2 hit, 2 down. Appears that somebody's attempting CPR.
The highway had been closed for demonstrations when the driver entered the freeway going the wrong way. Police arrested the 27-year-old Seattle man. The motive for the alleged crime, unknown. Seattle, a city in chaos. That freeway closed for 19 straight nights for demonstrations. The police now saying they can no longer guarantee protesters' safety. The city under siege since the killing of George Floyd. Just days ago, riot police reclaiming a so-called autonomous zone taken over by protesters. Authorities had been blocked from the area for weeks. But after multiple shootings, officers cleared out the CHOP zone.
Protests against racial injustice taking place all across the country. Right here in Los Angeles, people protesting peacefully and safely off the streets. Police making it clear they have little tolerance for people taking to the freeways. Whit?
All right, Zareen, thank you. Protesters are gathering in Aurora, Colorado as well for the second night in a row, demanding justice for Elijah McClain. It comes after the release of selfies showing police officers appearing to reenact the type of neck hold used on McClain during a violent takedown last August. He died 3 days later. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, demonstrators in Colorado demanding justice for 23-year-old Elijah McClain.
Who's this for?
Protesters facing off with police outside the station in Aurora. Outrage boiling over amid a new scandal rocking the department. Officers Erica Marrero and Kyle Dittrich both fired, and Officer Jaron Jones resigning over these selfies, smiling and simulating the chokehold used on McClain, taken 2 months after the massage therapist's death.
It is a crime against humanity and decency.
McClain was walking home last August after buying iced tea at a convenience store when someone called 911 to report him as suspicious. Officers later putting him in a chokehold as he begged for his life. McClain died days later at the hospital. Police say during the confrontation with officers, McClain tried to grab Officer Jason Rosenblatt's gun. Months later, when Rosenblatt received this picture in a text message, he replied, "Ha ha." He too was fired Friday. None of the officers have been charged in McClain's death. Colorado's Attorney General is now investigating. Whit.
All right, Stephanie Ramos, thank you. Next, the 4th of July scorcher for most of the country, a brush fire burning across 100 acres in California's San Bernardino Mountains. Mandatory evacuations in place for a time. All weekend, the heat index above 90 degrees, nearly coast to coast. Meteorologist Jeff Smith from our New York City station WABC is tracking it all. And Jeff, this weekend's heat is just the beginning.
Yeah, with this hot weather going to be continuing for the foreseeable future, and the hot weather also sparking some thunderstorms to be expected this time of the year. Severe weather threats over parts of the south and the high plains. And look at tomorrow's heat index values across much of the eastern half of the country in the 90s. In fact, for the next several days from coast to coast, places like Denver, Chicago, Philly, heat indices well into the 90s. And as we head deeper into the week, not only will the heat stick around in some parts of the country, it will even intensify.
We'll brace for that, Jeff. Thank you. Next, the names of pro sports teams are under fresh scrutiny. Tonight, the Cleveland Indians. In a statement, the baseball team saying, "We are committed to engaging our community and appropriate stakeholders to determine the best path forward." Last year, the Indians stopped using the image of a Native American chief as their logo. And as professional sports slowly get back to business, a growing number of athletes and staff are testing positive for the coronavirus. They are also coming back to teams confronting issues of social justice. Now some players are having second thoughts. Here's ABC's Alex Prechet.
Tonight, one of NASCAR's biggest stars testing positive for COVID-19. Legendary champion Jimmy Johnson learned he and his wife have the virus. He'll be forced to miss tomorrow's race in Indianapolis.
We're trying to be as healthy as we can, but on the home front with our kids, we're heartbroken right now to see the fear in their eyes.
Johnson's diagnosis highlights an ongoing problem: how to restart sports while keeping athletes healthy. Major League Baseball teams just reported for spring training for a shortened season, while announcing 31 players have tested positive for the virus. All-star Mike Trout not hiding his anxiety.
Honestly, still don't feel comfortable. Obviously with the baby coming, there's a lot of stuff going through my mind right now, my wife's mind, my family.
The NBA is also trying to return to action later this month. Several players now concerned about the pandemic.
I don't have much confidence, but hopefully, it'll be handled to a point where we're not putting everybody at risk or in a dangerous position.
Others voicing concern over the social unrest and protests taking place across the country.
We're isolated in a bubble in the middle of a hot spot in the middle of Florida, while there's social unrest going on in the country.
With at least 25 NBA players have tested positive for the virus so far. Still, Commissioner Adam Silver says he's pretty confident in the league's plan to safely resume.
Alex, thank you. And we also want to note this is your first report here on World News Tonight. Welcome to the team. Still ahead here on this Saturday, the scuba diver killed by a shark, the popular tourist destination overseas, now the site of 2 deadly shark attacks this year. And social distancing while on the move, the record RV sales as coronavirus fears force more Americans to hit the road this summer.
Devin, did you know Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies?
Okay.
That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? DJ Khaled to be your motivational coach?
Yo, Devin, remember to brush in a circle motion. Thank you, DJ Khaled. Tiny circles, Devin. Do another one. Another one. Is this good? Put in that work, Devin. Don't give up.
Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th.
Constipation can happen all around us. You just need to know where to look. Luckily, there's Colace. It's the #1 doctor-recommended stool softener brand for occasional constipation.
Ever since I got this little guy, I felt like I was just constantly cleaning up his hair. Then I got my paws on the Swiffer Sweeper. It's a game changer. These heavy-duty dry cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. This is all you. We stopped cleaning and started Swiffering.
Ready to shine from the inside out? Try Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Gummies. The #1 brand to support silky hair, glowing skin, and healthy nails. Beauty comes naturally, only from Nature's Bounty.
The Capital One Walmart Rewards Card puts cash back in your wallet. Earn 5% cash back on everything you buy at walmart.com.
Mom, paper towels!
Including things for the science fair.
What's in your wallet?
Doing the things we love can be painful. Aspercream's triple effect provides targeted relief, works in minutes, lasts for hours. Love hurts. Aspercream works.
Do you have concerns about mild memory loss related to aging? Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Next tonight, the record RV rentals. With coronavirus fears forcing many to change their travel plans this summer, more and more Americans are hitting the open road. Here's ABC's David Wright.
There's no question coronavirus is cramping America's style when it comes to summer travel. Faced with the masks and the risks, flight bookings are down nearly 80%.
So we're cooking a little food tonight outside the RV.
But families like the Knadlers of Rochester, New York, have found ways to adapt.
We can come back and just climb in the RV, or we don't have to worry about going to a restaurant or going to a store.
Rediscovering a time-honored American tradition.
With an Airstream at your command, you can head for anywhere in the world.
Setting sail on the open road in what used to be called land yachts. These days, pandemic palaces on wheels. 46 million Americans are expected to climb aboard. For the sites that rent them, like Outdoorsy and RV Share, 3 times more business than usual.
RV travel enables you to go anywhere, so there's this enormous freedom from fear, freedom from contamination.
The highlight of the trip for all of us was just to be away from home after a couple of months.
The Knadlers rode in their bubble all the way from Rochester to the South Dakota Badlands.
It's great to be outside and just feel like we can do it in a way that is very safe.
Social distancing on the move. David Wright, ABC News, New York.
All right, David, thank you. When we come back, that shark attack overseas and the rescuers desperately trying to save a scuba diver.
Needles, essential for sewing, but maybe not for people with certain inflammatory conditions, because there are options, like an injection, Xeljanz. The first and only pill of its kind that treats moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, or moderate to severe ulcerative colitis, when other medicines have not helped enough. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, or are prone to infections. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers, including lymphoma, and blood clots have happened. Taking a higher than recommended dose of Xeljanz for RA may increase risk of death. Tears in the stomach or intestines and serious allergic reactions have happened. Needles. Fine for some, but for you, there's a pill that may provide symptom relief. Ask your doctor about the pill first prescribed for RA more than 7 years ago. Xeljanz, an injection.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Stop struggling to clean tough messes with sprays. Try Clean Freak. It has 3 times the cleaning power to dissolve kitchen grease on contact. It works great on bathtubs and even stainless steel. Try Clean Freak from Mr. Clean.
Life isn't a straight line, and sometimes you can find yourself heading in a new direction. But when you're with Fidelity, a partner who makes sure every step is clear, there's nothing to stop you from moving forward.
I found a way to relieve my constipation that's both gentle and fast.
New great-tasting Dalcolac soft juice works naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes. Puts you comfortably in control. New Dalcolac soft juice.
Need better sleep? Try Nature's Bounty Sleep 3, a unique tri-layer supplement that calms you, helps you fall asleep faster, and stay asleep longer. Great sleep comes naturally with Sleep 3, only from Nature's Bounty.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah, is that a Confederate flag?
With so much on the line now in America.
My ancestors died fighting that flag. If it bothers you, you can just look the other way.
You won't believe what people do.
Let's break it.
On the premiere of What Would You Do, Tuesday at 10/9 Central on ABC.
The show must go on.
CMA Best of Best, Monday, July 13th on ABC.
Now to the deadly shark attack overseas. Authorities in Australia saying a 20-year-old was killed while scuba diving off the coast of Queensland. Paramedics arriving by helicopter after he suffered bites to both legs, but he later died. The spot, popular with tourists, was the site of another deadly shark attack back in April. When we come back, mowing lawns for free and the viral challenge encouraging kindness.
I'm bad. You're stronger than you know. So strong. You power through chronic migraine. 15 or more headache or migraine days a month. One tough mother. You're bad enough for Botox. Botox has been preventing headaches and migraines before they even start for almost 10 years and is the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. Botox is for adults with chronic migraine. 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Go on with your bad self. You may pay as little as $0 for Botox. Ask your doctor about Botox for chronic migraine. You got this.
No one tells you what to expect when you're expecting a new pet. Okay, Benny, we need to get you a crate, training treats, potty pads. But with Chewy's low prices, you'll find amazing deals on everything you need for your pets. Oh, even those toys? You can save on toys, food, treats, even your pet's prescriptions. What about leashes, a bowl, his ID tag? You can get it all at a great price. Even the shipping is free. So what are you waiting for? Start saving at Chewy today.
Save 30% on your first order at Chewy.
We're so embarrassed we overpaid for this used car. We don't even want to show our faces around here.
If you don't see me, you're not seeing the most accurate price. Shop at Carfax. You won't have to overpay on a used car again. Shop millions of great deals at the all-new Carfax.com.
I found a way to relieve my constipation that's both gentle and fast.
New great tasting Dalcolac soft juice works naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes. Puts you comfortably in control. New Dalcolac soft juice.
Real people are connecting with Disney Plus.
As soon as you turn it on, Star Wars, Pixar, Marvel movies,
Frozen.
Some people are worth melting for.
Really touches my heart.
The Lion King, getting goosebumps thinking about that one. It's just so much.
Finally tonight, America Strong, the brothers working together to help their neighbors in need, and the online challenge inspiring others. That's Sam and Hunter. In 3 months, they have mowed more than 50 lawns in their Detroit neighborhood for free.
We thought this would be a great thing to get involved in, and they were on board to do it.
The 50-yard challenge that began with this man, Rodney Smith.
Back in 2015, I came across this elderly man outside mowing his lawn. It looked like he was struggling. That night, I decided I'll start mowing free lawns for the elderly, disabled, single parents, and veterans.
Rodney, motivated by a simple message, make a difference one lawn at a time. His cause going viral in communities across the country. The goal, to challenge youth to cut 50 lawns for anyone in need at no cost. The only requirement, send a photo holding a sign saying, "I accept." When you reach 50, Rodney personally makes the trip to deliver you a free lawnmower, weed eater, and blower. So far, he's traveled to about 25 states, motivating more than 1,000 young people. So this week, when Sam and Hunter finished their challenge, Rodney made the 10-hour drive from Alabama.
It was just amazing to see him. It's heartwarming just to know that he does these kinds of things, but in order for us to do it, it's even better.
It's not just about mowing the lawn. It's about actually connecting and being with people, especially through the pandemic right now. And I think we've all grown from it.
We're all hoping that kindness continues to spread. I'm Whit Johnson. Have a great 4th of July. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
On the next Cameron Hall, our Hot Summer Giveaways kicks off. Tune in to win every Monday in July. And Tony Award winner Ben Platt finds his true self on stage.
To get to do that as myself, it's so rewarding.
After years of trying to fit in, Lonnie Love learns to accept herself in her new memoir.
There's so many things about me that people don't know.
Plus, not all daughters rebel when mothering turns to smothering. All that and more next Cameron Hall.
Monday morning at 10 on ABC 7.
America, this is our time to shine with spectacular savings at the Hyundai 4th of July sales event. Celebrate all 16 award-winning sedans and SUVs. With more IIHS top safety awards than Honda or Toyota brands, Hyundai Assurance with up to 3 years of complimentary maintenance, and America's best warranty. The Hyundai 4th of July sales event, helping everyone shine a little brighter this summer.
Lease an Elantra for $119 a month or get up to $3,000 in total savings. Hurry, offers end July 6th.
For your consideration, Tracy Ellis Ross, Blackish.
This is Jeopardy! Introducing today's contestant, an attorney from Mechanicsville.